Hi there! This video is all about 2020 Pascal Contest for grade 9 and what you can do to get into the top 15% or even top 1%. I'm going to show you 3 strategies in achieving your goals of top 70%, top 15%, and top 1%. And at the end of the video, I will demonstrate how to think creatively to get to the correct answer faster than the usual way. Without further ado, let's start now. Before we talk about strategies for Pascal grade 9, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Lenny Wu. I have an MBA finance degree from the George Washington University in the year 2000. I sat as an examiner for the International English Language Testing System, or IELTS, in the 1990s. I also taught in Tsinghua University for 7 years. On top of these, I'm an exam trainer for various high-profile exams, such as GRE, or Graduate Record Examination, GMAT, or Graduate Management Admission Test, TOEFL, or Test of English as a Foreign Language, math tests such as Gauss, Euler, and of course, Pascal Contest for grade 9. Now let's briefly review some highlights of the Pascal Contest. First, it's an internationally recognized contest. It is developed and administered by the Center for Education in Mathematics and Computing, or CEMC. Second, the test dates for 2020 are Tuesday, February 25th, 2020 in North and South America, Wednesday, February 26th, 2020 outside of North and South America. Last, total time for the contest is 60 minutes. Some instructions. First, most calculating devices are allowed. Check official site for details. Second, the contest is multiple choices only. Only one of the answers A, B, C, D, or E is correct. Third, scoring. Part A are easy questions. 5 points per question times 10 questions will give you 50 points. Part B are medium-level questions. 6 points per question times 10 questions give you 60 points. Last, Part C are hard questions. 8 points per question times 5 questions equals 40 points. The total will be 150 points. Some important notes. First, there is no penalty for an incorrect answer. Second, each unanswered question is worth 2 points to a maximum of 10 unanswered questions. So that will give you a maximum of 20 points for leaving 10 questions blank. How lovely is that? And I'm going to tell you how to use this bonus points later in this video. Ranking. Next, let's see how the score and the ultimate ranking work. This chart is based on the 2019 Pascal results. As we can see, of the 25 questions, suppose you get 15 answer correct. That's 60% of the questions answered. However, ranking-wise, you only get into top 70%, meaning there are only 30% of students doing worse than you. 70% are doing better. Okay, if we want to get to the top 15%, how many questions do we have to get correct? Got it? Yes. 20 questions will get you to 86% high, or the top 15% rank. Notice that it is these 5 questions that made a huge difference. Now, let me ask you another question. What about top 1%? How many correct answers do you need to get to top 1%? Yes, another 3 more. For 3 more questions from 20 to 23, you will jump from top 15% all the way to top 1%. Why? Because as I mentioned in previous slide, the last 5 questions are so difficult that really differentiate all students. So to be among top 15%, you need to get at least 20 questions correct, which is equivalent to getting Part A and Part B 100% correct. To reach the top 1%, you need to do better and get 3 out of the 5 questions in Part C right. Some students may ask, how then? Let's set up a customized plan to tackle this. To tackle this, we can set up 3 different goals for students with different needs and at different levels. Goal A, doing good. This is for those students who just want to participate in the contest and can refresh on math concepts by taking the contest. For these students, try getting into the top 70%. Goal B, doing better. This is for those who want to challenge themselves and aim high in order to have a better results than prior years. They want to get into the top 15%. Last, Goal C, doing best. This is for the top students who really want to bring the best of their math knowledge to the test. They have been among the top 5% and want to do better to reach the top 1%. Strategies. With the above 3 different goals set up, someone may ask, how can I achieve one of them? Okay, for Goal A, all you need is 15 questions right. Let's say you get all 10 questions correct in Part A for 50 points, and then only 5 questions in Part B correct. 5 times 6 points per question gives you 30 points. You get a total of 80 points, or top 70%. To achieve this, you can spend 1.5 minutes per question for Part A for a total of 15 minutes, then 4 minutes per question for Part B for a total of 40 minutes. Plenty of time to spend on each, right? After that, make sure you spend 5 minutes doing proof checking. That's a total of 60 minutes. What about Part C, you may ask? If you still have time left after the proof checking, attempt 1 or 2 of them. Otherwise, leave them blank. Why? Because you still get 2 bonus points for each blank answer for all 5 questions in Part C. That will guarantee you 10 bonus points. If you get all 15 questions correct in Part A and B, you may get 80 points plus 10 bonus points for 90 points, way above the top 70%. Excited? Now let's look at Goal B. To reach Goal B, you will need to answer all 20 questions in Part A and B correct, supposing they are easier than Part C. The total points you may get is a minimum of 110 points, or the top 15%. That's not including any bonus points you may get by leaving Part C blank. Time-wise, you may spend 1 minute per Part A question and 3 minutes per Part B questions for a total of 10 minutes plus 30 minutes equals 40 minutes. And then don't forget to proof check your answer for 5 to 10 minutes in order to make sure you get the 20 questions right. Then attempt for the remaining Part C questions and try to get 1 or 2 correct, with the remaining 3 questions unanswered for 6 bonus points. If you are lucky, you can get 110 points plus 8 points for 1 question answered correctly in Part C, plus 6 bonus points for 3 unanswered questions in Part C. That's top 7% instead of the top 15%. Last, if you got to the top 5% and wants to shoot for the top 1%, how to do that? First, you need to complete the first 20 questions faster. Much faster than Goal A and B. In Part A, try spending only 30 seconds for each questions for a total of 5 minutes. Then for Part B, spending only 1.5 to 2 minutes each for a total of 20 minutes. Then spend 4 minutes for any 3 questions in Part C, usually questions 21 to 23, as the questions are usually listed in order of difficulty. Now, if all goes as planned, you have done 23 questions in less than 40 minutes. Now, listen very carefully. What you need to do next is not finishing the remaining 2 questions, which are usually extremely difficult and time-consuming. You get more chances of higher score by stopping now and proof checking. Spend 10 minutes to thoroughly check your answers and make sure they are properly marked. If you can get all 23 questions finished by now correctly, then you are effectively top 1% already. Why? Since you have got 134 points plus 4 bonus points for the last 2 questions unanswered. Well, what if you still have time left after the proof checking, say 10 to 13 minutes left? You know what to do next. Yes, give the last 2 questions a try. Who knows, maybe you can get one of them correct. Then you are not the top 1% anymore, but the top 0.1%. Congratulations.